Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Brian Redmond. This is the Relationship Rehab. And tonight, we are going to be talking about Arizona, Maricopa County's DCFS system. How they failed the 7 children is unbeknownst to me. But we're going to get into it. So sit back, relax, click that like button, click that subscribe button, and let's do this.
Yeah. I don't ever remember feeling like this. But I'm out here in these YouTube streets. So I want you to get your fingers. I don't know what you're doing. I want you to get your mouse. I want you to check me out. And I want you to check me out. Get ready to do this. It's the Relationship Rehab. Like, share, and subscribe. We coming at you live. So come on, let's take a ride. Then subscribe to United Guns of America. Just click that link and listen up to what I'm telling you. It's the Relationship Rehab. Click that link right now. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Brian Redmond, and I just want y'all to subscribe to my channel. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let me know what you think. I'm gonna talk about some things, you can talk about some things, and we can do our thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's all about having a conversation, right? I mean, if we can't talk to each other, then, I mean, what are we really here for? I want y'all to be able to just come over to my channel, talk to me about what's going on with you, and I can tell you what's going on with me, and we can build some things, you know what I'm saying? That's all about growth, baby. So click that link, go ahead and swipe on your phone, whatever you gotta do. Share my content. It's just get me out here, baby. Cause we just talking, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I like doing what I'm doing because it's about the people. It's about us having a conversation with each other. It's about us discussing whatever needs to be discussed. And on these YouTube streets, this is the best place to do it, baby. Like, share, and subscribe. That's right. Click the link. Click the link. Yeah. I just want to say thank you to everybody that's out here that's already subscribed. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all ain't the first one, and y'all ain't the last one. So I just want to give a shout out to everybody that click the link, that click the share, and then subscribe to your boy. Cause we gon' grow this thing together, baby. Relationship rehabbing, United Guns of America. To the world blow up, baby. Yeah. Click the link, baby. Click the link, baby. Yeah. Hey, I just want to send a shout out to all y'all. I love y'all. That's why I do this. It's for the love of us, baby. I appreciate all of y'all. Ooh, we gon' do this thing. We gon' do this thing right here, baby. Hey, look, if you at a computer right now, just go ahead and click your link. What else you got to lose, baby? Tell me what you think. Hit the comment section. You can jump on the live panel. We do it all here. That's what it's all about. So come holler at your boy. I've been doing this for years, but I just got onto this YouTube thing. So hey, let's see what it doing, where it can go. To United Guns of America. Just click the link and listen up to what I'm telling you. What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redmond, also known as the Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do 2 things. What are those 2 things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need you to go to the Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel. Now you may be asking, why would I do that, Brian? Because it's 2 of the hottest channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about. We talk about some of everything: politics, relationships, guns, law enforcement, community stuff. Anything that's happening, I'm willing to have a conversation about it, so come on over. You don't got nothing else to lose, and you ain't got nothing else to do. So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment, 2 channels, twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy. Peace, and I'm out.
But I'm just a soul whose intentions are good. Oh Lord, please don't let me be misunderstood. What's good, everybody? What's up? It's me, your boy. I'm back, and we are live and direct. So, I am really excited about doing this show tonight. Y'all know that it's really tough for me to do shows about kids, and I stay away from it. I let DJ Just J at the AFC. He does an amazing job. Tommy Sotomayor, they do an amazing job. It's hard for me to do these kind of shows because I get too emotionally invested. I'm a person, I'm one of those people, I'm a sheepdog by nature, and I hate bullies. So when I see children being mistreated, children that can't defend themselves being mistreated, then it really strikes a nerve in old Cletus. And old Cletus gets fired up, and then I'll be ready to go ahead and get it in. I'll be ready to do something to somebody. That's just how I am. But one of the reasons why I'm able to do this story tonight is, and for those of you who've heard this has been going on, I think, since like 2019, this show, this situation, but there was just an actual focus on the actual Department of Children's Services in Maricopa County, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show. The second reason why I wanted to do this show is because this bitch dead. So that like alleviates a lot of my strife, a lot of my angst that I would have, the anger and stuff building up. It gets subsided because she dead. So it is what it is. But I definitely want to just take this opportunity to just talk about the system, if you will, and really like go through what happened throughout this entire case and how just the Department of Children's Services, how they just totally failed these 7 children. And this is, and what I hope comes out of this is that we need to really take a look at, and we really need to step up as people and citizens and start holding government officials, government entities accountable to the shit that they do and the shit that they don't do. That's like that at the end of this, like when I watched this stuff and I was looking at it and was going through it, the thing that I walked away with was just like, this is a thing to where, people try to, usually what you'll hear is, oh, they slip through the cracks, and sometimes, things aren't procedures and policies aren't followed, and things happen, and this time the ball was dropped, and there was these kids, usually this doesn't happen. Bullshit to the back. I'm tired of that shit. We let that go too much. And my thing is, if we can obsess over grown ass people, we can obsess over the women of the Me Too movement. We can obsess anytime there's a woman on TV to talk about, I got hurt. Yes, I know I was with this man for 32 years, but I was hurt. And we can sympathize with them. We damn sure need to be able to sympathize and step up for kids that are in this system. That's my whole thing to this. That was the thing that I walked away with and was just like, what in the entire fuck is going on? So with that being said, I'm going to move into my favorite part of the show, and then we're going to go ahead and get things cracking. Take it away, baby.
Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use and is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107.
And I also have a confession to make. This peach, Red Bull, this shit is good. I'm telling y'all, this shit is good. It's good in drink. It's good by itself. This is like, man, I have never ever been a fan of Red Bull. I know, of course, millions of people drink Red Bull, but I never liked it because of the taste. I did not like the flavor. But when they came out with this right here, this special edition, whatever they call it, this peach, this is all right. It's all right in here today, Jack. I'm telling you, it's all right in here today. This is all right. I'm telling you. If you get a chance to try one, go ahead, try it. Yes, indeed. All right. Ain't nothing good about a Red Bull. I know, but it get me right. It get me right. It get me right. And the thing about it is that, I drink so much water. I really don't trip. So it ain't like, my kidneys and all that shit getting fucked up and all that, but they may sizzle a little bit, but they ain't getting fucked up, but because I drink a fuck ton of water. So I don't really trip. But I'm telling you, I remember let me tell you this quick story real quick while people are coming in. Click that like button and click the share button too while y'all at it. There was a guy when I was working at Best Buy Geek Squad. And I wonder if my boy Preem is in here, if he's in the chat, and I don't know, but he can attest to this. But it was a dude that we worked with, one of the guys that I hired in our store. His name was John Spooler. I don't even know if I haven't heard. I need to reach out to him, see how he doing. Shout out to John Spooler wherever he at. But anyway, this cool, he's a cool white boy too. I like John Spooler. He's cool. But let me tell you what he did. He had a friend that I guess worked at some drink company or something. And they had this off-brand energy drink. I don't remember what the name of the shit was. It wasn't like Monster. It wasn't Red Bull. It was some off-brand shit. But here's the kicker with it. This off-brand energy drink that they had, he had literally like a pallet of it. And they were getting rid of it because it was expired. So it was expired energy drink. After so long, you can't have that shit forever. So it was an energy drink, really didn't take off, really wasn't popular, and the shit was expired. So it was old as hell. It was beyond the expiration date. Whatever that expiration date was, this shit was months and months and months and months and months past it. So they was getting rid of it. And he decided to take it. I don't know. I think he paid something like $50 or some shit like that for a whole fucking skid of this energy drink. So we used to always wonder why Spooler was always in Geek Squad. Most of the time you call people by their last name, and he just had a weird name, so that's why everybody called him Spooler instead of John, because John is average. Everybody in the store, you got John, you got 4 motherfuckers turn around. But anyway, Spooler had bought this skin of this energy drink. We used to always wonder, why is this motherfucker so amped? I mean, he would be amped, cranked up, Jack. You talking about all the way turned up? That's Spooler. He would be all over the sales floor. He was a killer salesman too. He was great. He would be all over the sales floor. He'd be back in Geek Squad selling services. I mean, straight rock star. My man was a rock star. I'm giving him his props. But we would always wonder why he was so hyped up all the time. So he's telling us this story about how he bought this skid of this energy drink that was expired. So we sitting and we're like, I don't think that's a good thing, dude. And he's like, no, this stuff is great. It's good, He's like, there's a few different flavors of it. He's like, but yeah, I got it for such an incredible price. He was so excited about him getting a great deal on this shit. So one day he comes into work and I'm in the back of the precinct. And he don't look right. I'm like, man, Spooler, you good? You all right, man? He's like, man, B-Red. He said, I don't know, man. He said, I don't feel too good. I said, man, it's them goddamn energy drinks that you drink. Because he would drink 2 or 3 of them on his shift alone with us. Not to mention what he's doing when he gaming. Not to mention what he's doing when he off and when he chilling. He would drink at least 2 to 3 of them motherfuckers just at work. And we talking just the 6 to 8 hour shift he would work. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, I don't know, man. I was like, well, what's been going on? He was like, man, he said, my heart is racing. I said, your heart is, you having palpitations? I said, man, you can't be falling out in this motherfucker, man. We gotta get these sales. I gotta hit budget. No, I wasn't saying that, but he's like, I'm having heart palpitations, but this the kicker. And he was like, you know, he said, I don't know if it's the taurine or what. He said, but I'm starting to smell the energy drink when I piss. I said, what? I was like, what? See, you said what? He said, I'm starting to smell when I piss. I'm smelling the energy drink. It don't, my pee don't smell like pee. It smell like the energy drink. I said, what? I said, nigga. I said, boy, how much water are you drinking? He's like, well, I really don't drink too much water, man. He said, because he said, you know, I can't even remember, you know, like drinking water these past few months. I said, man, this motherfucker's crazy. He said, you know what, B. Red? He said, man, I think I got a problem. I think I'm addicted to this shit. I said, you think, motherfucker? I said, man, look. I said, man, get you some water and you just sit down here, man. Take you about 20, 30 minutes, man, to just sit down back here and cool out. I said, if you ain't feeling well after that, I said, man, you need to go home. I said, because you can't be passing out on this motherfucking floor, man. I can't have that. Oh, you got to get these services, goddamn. We got to get this money. But that shit was just hilarious. That dude said, he said, man, he said, when I pee, I smell the energy drink. Newsflash, let me give you guys a health tip. If you smell Coca-Cola, if you smelling alcohol, you smelling, aside from the smell of asparagus in your piss, there's something wrong with you, man. Stop eating or drinking whatever it is. Asparagus is natural. That's fine. Asparagus is a superfood. It got good vitamins in it and all that. But when you smelling a drink in your piss, you need to stop drinking the shit. You need to really go on a cleanse and drink yourself a bunch of water or something. Just saying. So that's the health tip for the night. All right. Now, let's go ahead and move into this story. I really want to go through this. This is going to wow some of y'all, but we need to do this. So yeah, that shit was hilarious. But here we go. Let's start out with this was the original recap of the story way back when. This ain't what just came out a few days ago. So let's watch this.
The investigation involving a mother now under arrest tonight. She had adopted 7 children. They were in a popular YouTube series. But tonight, prosecutors have now charged that mom with abusing the children. They say they were pepper sprayed and locked in a closet for days without food. Here's ABC's chief national correspondent, Matt Gutman.
Their video antics were viewed 250 million times. But tonight, police say the serial abuse those little actors suffered was a dark, behind-the-camera secret. Machelle Hobson had adopted the 7 children ages 3 to 15, but according to court documents, she'd beaten and pepper sprayed them when they failed to memorize their lines. Her Fantastic Adventures YouTube channel had over 800,000 subscribers.
This bitch had 800,000 subs, and she beating and pepper spraying kids for not learning their lines. Really? Really? And we talk about Joe Jackson. Goddamn. I mean, you got motherfucking actors that forget their lines. Who's gonna whoop Denzel Washington's ass because he forgot his cue, he forgot his line? Like, seriously.
The on-camera scenarios chillingly similar to what police say was their reality.
See? We're trapped.
Investigators tipped off after Hobson's adult biological...
Did y'all see that house? You see that motherfucking house, right? This bitch was making, they said, anywhere between 10 to motherfucking, what was it, 10 or 10 to 200 something thousand dollars a month or some shit like that, getting bread. 800,000 subs? Shit, you know she getting that money. Look at that house. Look at the van out there. That motherfucking, what is that, a Sprinter? That Sprinter alone, probably at least a good $60,000. Easy. Matter of fact, let me make sure I ain't just talking out the side of my neck. What is that? Cost of a sprinter. Yeah. At least. Yep, sprinter van. There we go. See what just the ballpark of the motherfucking price is. Just ballpark that shit. Like, just imagine what this motherfucking lady, $36,000. So you talking about 2021 Mercedes-Benz Sprinter. $38,000, $36,000, $37,000. No, I'm sorry. That's the cargo, the passenger van, which is what that is. That's the passenger joint, $43,000. So this motherfucker driving probably when it's all said and done, probably running about $45,000. She had 7 kids, 7 adopted kids, and 5 kids of her own.
Investigators tipped off after Hobson's adult biological daughter came forward. Her adopted children claiming they did not go to school and that Hobson would pepper spray all over their face and body, spanking them, forcing them to take ice baths, and when resisting, would force their heads underwater.
Now think about that. Think about what pepper spray does to an adult. Do y'all remember how many motherfucking pro-black, Black Lives Matter motherfuckers was upset at the fact that that lieutenant that was being a lieutenant dumbass was fucking, they got pulled over by the police and got pepper sprayed? Do y'all remember when I did that video? Now just think about what they was doing all that time that went on after he got pepper sprayed, how they was flushing his eyes or whatever and the water and shit you had to put in the eyes. Imagine that type of pepper spray that you would use on an adult being used on a child. See, we think pepper spray is just like, oh yeah, it's just pepper spray. Yeah, that's different when you on drugs. That's different when you're a grown-ass man or a grown-ass woman and you get pepper sprayed, or a little pepper spray hit you in the crowd or some shit like that. Imagine that type of chemical being sprayed on a child, or as some of the niggas on YouTube say, a child. CHIOLD. Just imagine that. Imagine a child getting pepper sprayed. Little kid, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why this kid is getting pepper sprayed don't fucking matter. But the fact that a motherfucker will get pepper sprayed because of them forgetting their lines. Spanked, slapped, taking an ice bath. Imagine that. I remember when they had that ice challenge. I remember when I did that shit. And as a matter of fact, I remember when I did that shit, my wife, with her old wanting to be funny ass, instead of her just pouring the shit over, you're just supposed to take it and pour it over. This is the slowest pouring this motherfucker I've ever seen with that ice bath shit. I said, just pour the shit. I said, don't be fucking around. Just pour the shit. She just supposed to just pour it. She taking her motherfucking sweet ass time. I remember when you did that shit. I hope she watching so she know she was on bullshit. She thought it was funny than a motherfucker, but it's all right. But anyway, I'm just saying, imagine doing that with a kid though. You got a tub filled up with cold water. You take a bag of ice, drop it in that water, and then you put a kid in it and force them to stay in the water. I'm telling you, when you hear this kind of stuff, it's fucked up, but just think about what it's like to be a kid having that done to you. You can't fight for yourself. You can't do anything to defend yourself. You got some other motherfucking, this woman's sons and shit who I don't understand to this day how the fuck they got their charges dismissed. We gonna see that, but I'm just saying, to have somebody doing that to you as a kid and you can't do shit. Forcing your head underwater. I remember I used to be so pissed off if a motherfucker did that shit to me at the pool. Playing. Imagine a motherfucker doing that shit to you to fuck with you as a kid. You don't know if you gonna die or not. A kid will think that they gonna die. So you talking about these 7 kids living in fucking terror scared to death, and they're getting abused on a consistent basis for the littlest things. Come on, man.
Children allegedly beaten with hangers and forced to stand in a corner, hands raised above their head for 18 hours straight. And while some of the videos...
So you know what that means? People say, oh, they ain't gonna do it for 18 hours straight. No. So what that means is, how do you get a kid to keep their hands up for 18 hours? Every time they put their hands down, you fuck them up. That's what you're doing. Every time they put their hands down, I'm sure that kid get whacked, smacked, pepper sprayed, hit, whatever the case may be. Denied food. They were starving the kids too.
Focused on food, even cookies.
Cookies, cookies, cookies. Oh yeah? You're hungry?
Police say the kids were starved for days at a time. Police also accuse Hobson's 2 biological adult male sons of failing to report the abuse despite knowing about it. Hobson now facing multiple charges, including...
I'm telling you right now, as a goddamn DCFS or DCS fucking represent, if I'm going out to a kid to investigate to make sure that these kids are in the right situation or in a healthy environment, if I see a bitch that look like this, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna assume the worst. That bitch look evil. It does that not look like the typical I abuse the fuck out of kids looking bitch? Does that not? If I see a kid even have their eyes looking bucked or cause they scared, if I even think for 1 second that these kids are giving me a hint, they like, that's all I need to see. And I'm calling the police and everybody. Come get these motherfuckers up out of here. You know goddamn well that this bitch here, she looked like she should at least, at the very least, have your spidey senses tingling and have your food. I mean, I'm talking, I'm going through that house with the white glove treatment. I'm looking for any and everything to be anything out of place. Anything out of place. I'm looking at it like, no, I don't trust this bitch here. Look at this bitch. No way. No way.
Kidnapping, she has not entered a plea.
Back up and with us live tonight. And Matt, if convicted of the most serious charges here, this accused mom could spend the rest of her life behind bars?
And that's because she faces 19 counts, including 5 for kidnapping. Now, Hobson has likely made millions over the years on that YouTube channel, but this afternoon, YouTube terminated it, ensuring she can't monetize it going forward. David.
All right, Matt Gupman on a horrific case tonight. Matt, thank you.
Fuck taking her channel down. We just gonna demonetize this bitch. Now you got motherfuckers that will fucking lie and motherfucking go ahead and flag down a nigga like Tommy. They flag his ass down off of a bunch of lying motherfuckers saying this is hate speech, this is hate speech, this is hate speech. Oh, we gonna take the channel. This bitch gets arrested for abusing the fuck out of some kids, and the 19 counts and the least that they did, or the most that they did at that moment, we'll just demonetize. What the fuck? That's it. Was a demonetization, 19 charges. Not, hey, we gonna suspend your account until further investigation, not putting your ass in YouTube jail, none of that. We'll just demonetize her for now. This is, you know, we got 800,000 subs. This is pretty much, you know, some good content going on. We'll just turn off the monetization for right now until we hear a little bit more. But a nigga like Tommy said, black bitch. Oh, channel gone. Channel gone. Like, what the fuck? Right, they flagged Jay too. In the AFC podcast, they flagged him down too. Fuck investigating. Fuck trying to find out what's happening. They just like, oh, nope, too many people. 4 people said something, so yeah, we gotta. Here you go, YouTube jail it is. What? Y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna even look into my content. I gotta do a fucking appeal and all that shit. Wait 3 days just to get my shit back again. This bitch gets arrested, 19 counts, 7 children pulled from the foster home, demonetized. Come on here now. Come on, Skinny Man. Come on now, Skinny Man, please, Skinny Man. Come on here now, man. Shit is crazy. All right, so let's go to the next one. And here's where the shit really gets crazy. Oh, wait, it's one more. Then we're going to get into the other shit. So I want to see this.
Details surrounding a case of child abuse. The case centers around a popular YouTube channel. The suspect, Machelle Hobson, has since died.
But as
Yes!
shows us, new police records
Let's play that
show
again.
And disturbing new details surrounding a case of child abuse. The case centers around a popular YouTube channel. The suspect, Machelle Hobson, has since died.
Yes. Yes, that's right. Yeah, we're going to catch it again.
The case centers around a popular YouTube channel. The suspect, Machelle Hobson, has since died.
Yeah, buddy.
Shows us new
She had how did she die? She had some type of complications or some shit. She was even like in court in like a fucking wheelchair or some shit. So she was sick as hell. But the thing is that I don't understand how, well, we're going to get to her kids in a minute, but let's go ahead and let's watch this part.
new police records show a history of abuse.
Maricopa police records detail a history of abuse allegations against Machelle Hobson long before her arrest in 2019. A total of 13 complaints.
And here's where the shit gets thick. 17, let's say that again.
Hobson became 2019. A total of 13 complaints.
13 complaints. 13 complaints. So here's my thing. I get it when it's 1. You slacking on your pimping when it's 2. How do you have 13 complaints and like take no action? How do you have 13 complaints and there's no, wait a fucking minute. This ain't the same motherfucker saying the same thing over and over again. It ain't like you got one person that's saying, oh, they keep doing it. Well, it's the next door neighbor. They don't like each other, whatever. No, these are from different entities, teachers, police officers, motherfuckers at the school counselor, different motherfuckers, relatives, all that shit. How many of these complaints do you need is the question I guess to ask Maricopa County. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? What is your job? Your job is to make sure that these children are in a safe environment. Why are you going out to the home and doing an inspection? To make sure that the kids are in a safe environment. You got 13 complaints. And like, as Nino Brown would say, and don't nobody know nothing? Keisha, dead. Donna Man, dead. $1 million a week business reduced to fucking rubble. And don't nobody know nothing? Are you serious? Man, get your ass out my face on the internet. That's straight.
Known as the YouTube mom, accused of beating her 7 adopted.
And I get it from the outside. Shit looks nice. Here's my point. All that glitters is not gold. This woman has, here's my other thing. This woman has 5 kids on her own and another 7 foster kids that she then legally adopts. She got 5. I get it. She get 1 more. She gets 6. Okay. You know, she gets 6. I hear you. You know, now you got 6 kids. You know, that's Cosby Show status, right? No husband, but she gets 6 kids. You get 7. God damn, 7 kids. That's a lot. You get 8. Don't you remember the goddamn show 8 is enough? How the fuck do you go and get 9, 10, 11, 12 fucking kids in one house? Not saying that it can't be done, but the fact that you got 12 kids in the house, man, I'd have somebody from DCFS doing pop-up visits at motherfucking 9 o'clock at night. The fuck y'all up in here doing? Yeah, I'm here. DCS, child services up here, and I want to walk through. Open this motherfucking door right the fuck now. Not now, but right now. Why would you not have a heightened sense of alertness or security or to check on these motherfuckers more? 7 kids with 5 already? Come on, man. Come on, man. Look at how this bitch takes care of herself. Look at how she looked. You think she really just gonna be gung-ho taking care of another 7 kids? And you got some grown-ass kids up in that house too? Man, please. I'd be all over that shit. I don't trust the bitch gonna have... Here's my thing. I'm gonna assume the worst until this bitch shows me different. And the fact that I got not 1, 2, 3, 4, but 13 complaints, I'm all over this bitch. I'm all over her. Like the motherfucking moo-moo she probably wore. That's unfucking believable.
Children with hangers.
And I don't want no goddamn excuses talking about, well, there's so many cases and we're so overwhelmed and we're so... I understand that, but goddamn it, there's certain things in certain situations that motherfuckers really need to just say, hold on, hold up, wait. This bitch done took 7 kids. We gon' take a harder look at what this bitch did. Hold up. Wait. How many motherfuckers take on 7 kids and they got 5? That's what I'm saying. Now, if this was one woman who had 2 kids, 2 of them foster kids, yeah, I get how that could slip through the cracks. I get that you might, not be as alarmed to see some shit like that. But you got a bitch who had 5 already and y'all let her get 7? And y'all ain't all over that, and she ain't got no husband, just her being the adult? Man, get out of here. That's bullshit. That's straight bullshit.
Spraying them and locking them in a closet for days at a time without food or water, all while allegedly forcing them to perform in videos for her lucrative YouTube channel, Fantastic Adventures, with millions of views. Maricopa police made these grim discoveries after one of Hobson's biological children reported the abuse. But newly released documents show Arizona's Department of Child Safety had been told of abuse allegations dating back to 2011. Documents...
Well, ain't that some shit? So all this shit went down in 2019. They got complaints all the way back to 2011. That's 8 years. That's 8 years. Hold on now, Catherine. You can't disrespect Joe Jackson like that now. She ain't the white female Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson, he whooped ass. He wasn't pepper spraying and locking Michael and them up. He was just whooping their ass when they was fucking up on them steps. When they wasn't getting that, they wasn't getting that shit together in simpatico. They wasn't in sync. He whooped that ass. Joe built a goddamn empire just by whooping ass with a belt in Gary, Indiana, 2300 Jackson Street, and a belt. He built the goddamn empire. He wasn't starving Michael and them. Michael and them was eating and all that shit. This bitch was starving these motherfuckers, sexually abusing these motherfuckers, all that kind of shit. Now, he was fucked up too, but I'm just saying, this bitch ain't him. This bitch is worse. Ain't none of them kids got no platinum albums. Ain't shit, I know. The bitch dead. I mean, what do you want me to do? Hey, shit now.
under DCS supervision was investigated 9 times between 2011 and 2017. The report.
Do you hear that? They had 9 investigations from 2011 to 2017. Look at the investigation. Look at the nature of the investigation. Child neglect, physical abuse, child neglect, physical abuse, child neglect. Come on, man. Ain't nobody gonna think like, hey, we might have something here, guys. Look at the dates. Take it back a little bit. You can see the fucking dates. And man, come on, man.
Between 2011 and...
Come on here, not skinny man. Come on, skinny man. Look at 2015 alone. April, June, and December. Physical abuse, child neglect. 2014. August 25th, and then another one on August 28th. That's 3 days apart, y'all. Come on, man. Look at 2013. May 7th, May 13th. Are you serious? That's just the first 9.
2017, the reports revealing on April 5th, 2011, an allegation of maltreatment, saying Hobson would lock foster children in a room, noting they would yell and cry while inside. DCS's conclusion, the allegation was unsubstantiated.
Now here's my thing. How do you have that type of investigation go on? You get this information, and you see right there, clear as day, Machelle is stubborn and never wrong. Findings unsubstantiated. You know what that is? That's a lazy bitch on the other end of this goddamn thing that ain't doing her fucking job. That's a lazy motherfucking nigga on the other side of this shit that ain't doing their fucking job. And my thing is this. It's like being a doctor that don't diagnose. That's why I'm so hard on these motherfuckers. It's literally, just imagine if you a doctor, but you don't do no diagnosis. You're a mechanic, but you don't fix cars. I'm a dentist, but I don't do shit with teeth. I just come in every day. Yep, your teeth are fine. Yeah, but I got an abscess right here. Do you see this motherfucker? This shit like a goddamn gumball on my gum. It's fine. Keep brushing, keep flossing. It's like a carpenter who doesn't build. A police officer who never goes on a call. Do you understand that this is exactly what this job is? Is just that very thing. Your job is to go and make sure the kids are okay. If you have one complaint and you don't have no evidence, I get it. You got 13, motherfucker. The fact you had 2 in a 3-day time frame, that should let you know, hold on, we might have something here. I mean, how many fucking unsubstantiated fucking findings do you need to have to think, well, maybe we got this one wrong, guys. Maybe we need to do a pop-up visit and look at this and see what's happening. Maybe we need to stop by on a Saturday. Maybe we should stop by on a Sunday night. Sunday evening at the least. You know what I'd have did? I'd have went in there. I'd have said I need to see all of the kids by themselves. All them kids with just me and the kids. Bring them in. Bring all these motherfuckers here. Bring y'all ass outside. I'd have told them kids right now, look here. If there's something wrong, tell me right now and I will take you away from here. And you'll never have to see this bitch again. That's what I would tell these mothers. I would tell their ass, here, now is your chance. If you ever gonna get away, let's do it right now. I give them kids a chance. Every time I go out there, you should give them kids a chance. Let's get the fuck out of here, kids. I can take you away from this shit right now. Let's go. Speak now or forever hold your peace. But they not. They just said unsubstantiated. Let's go.
Another maltreatment report on May 13th, 2013, saying Hobson's foster child was wearing ripped shoes 3 sizes too small and had gunk on her teeth. After a DCS visit, sizes too small, and 2013, saying Hobson's foster child was wearing ripped shoes 2013, saying Hobson's foster child. The allegation was unsubstantiated. Another maltreatment report on May 13th,
how many of these do you have to have?
2013, saying Hobson's foster child was wearing ripped shoes 3 sizes too small and had gunk on her teeth. After a DCS visit, Hobson pulled that child out of school.
So you have evidence. You have evidence of maltreatment. Not a rumor, not somebody said, not hearsay. You have clear evidence, and please click that like button, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. You have clear evidence. It clearly states what's happening and evidence of it, and you can see it. Has displayed over the past 3 years, whatever this name is, has displayed evidence of general neglect. This little girl that's in school has clear evidence of general neglect. Says blank has now been withdrawn from school. There is fear no one will be monitoring her care. Shoes are falling apart. Now this is a bitch with a YouTube channel with 800,000 subs, getting at minimum $8,000 to $10,000 a month. Her toe is sticking out, and they are 3 sizes too small. Blank is legally blind. This is a kid who's blind. This school year, she has had brown gunk on her teeth up to her gum lines. So that means she's not brushing her teeth, or her teeth have not been brushed. When asked about brushing her teeth, she hung her head. She's blind. She hung her head and said her mother took her toothbrush away. So we talking about a blind kid who they've said over the past 3 years has shown clear signs of neglect. At the moment of this report, you can clearly see that her shoes are falling apart. Y'all know how long you got to wear some gym shoes in order for them to fall apart. Yes, Karen, I see you. I'm on my way there. 3 sizes too small with a toe sticking out. Imagine how painful it is to put them shoes on every day. Shout out to Mark Adams. Thank you for the donation, sir. Appreciate it. Imagine the pain it is to wear shoes that are 3 sizes too small. Next time you go to the shoe store, or next time you're in Walmart, go in the shoe section and just find a pair of shoes. If you wear a size 10, get you a 7. If you wear a 12, get you a 9. And just put it on. Don't try to put it on. Put that motherfucker on. Shove your foot in that motherfucker and just experience that pain. So imagine this girl who's legally blind, what she has to deal with her feet every day. Walking around in school, walking around with her friends, being blind, special needs, all of that. And this is what she's dealing with to top that off. Imagine the kids talking about her. She can't see her teeth. but she knows she can't brush her teeth. She knows her breath stinks. She knows that her teeth don't feel clean. See, this is the kind of shit that you gloss over it in the news as the news reporters are just saying it. But when you actually have a motherfucker like me breaking it down and actually just literally giving you the experience of just imagine it. Imagine that as an adult. Now take that and turn it into a kid. Man, if I forget to brush my teeth, I don't feel right. I don't want to talk to nobody. I don't want to say shit to nobody. If I forget one day, imagine having your toothbrush taken away and your teeth haven't been cleaned. You haven't brushed your teeth to the point to where you have brown gunk on your teeth. Come on, man. And then when you ask her about it, she knows that it's a bad thing. She hung her head. So that means she knows it and she's now embarrassed. She's now embarrassed. It's one thing when you know you feel bad, but when somebody else point the shit out to you, come on, man. They've all been removed from this home, Emmanuel Webster.
DCS is finding.
Now, hold on. I want to finish reading that. Her toothbrush was taken away. This girl's name, whatever it is, Amy or whatever, is a special needs student with mild intellectual deficits. So that means in black folks terminology, she's slow. She's slow. Mother is rarely involved with her care. Mention blank frequently as the caregiver. So that means it was probably either one of the other kids that was the main caregiver. Check this part out. A nanny who was involved with the family is blank blank, whatever that person's name is. The reporting source indicated fear of harm to self because they filed a report. Fear of possible retaliation after a CPS visit to the home on Friday, 5/10. Mother contacted the school and withdrew the kid's name or whatever. Mother stated the caseworker laughed. Hear that? Mother stated the caseworker laughed at the allegation and did not take it seriously. How about that, bitch? How about that? So these motherfuckers knew what was happening and they thought the shit was funny. They thought the shit was cute. They thought it was all good in the hood. But I guarantee you these motherfuckers ain't lost their job. Now we talk about defunding the police. Ain't nobody talking about defunding child services in Maricopa County. Ain't nobody talking about that shit. The motherfuckers want justice for Breonna, justice for George Floyd, justice for all these other motherfuckers, but ain't nobody asking for justice for these 7 kids. Where they do that at? Ain't nobody asking for justice for these kids that was failed by DCS. I keep wanting to say DCFS because that's what they call it in Chicago. Department of Child and Family Services. I keep wanting to say that, so forgive me if I do it a couple more times. But we won't say shit about that. Ain't nobody protested in front of motherfucking Department of Children's Services in Arizona, in Maricopa County. Ain't nobody outside with no picket signs. And I'm not saying it's wrong for somebody to protest for somebody. You protest who the fuck you want to protest for. It's America, goddammit. But my thing is this. If you're supposed to be trying to be righteous and you want to be out there and you want to stand up for those who can't stand up for themselves, why would you not be out there for 7 children who were literally overlooked by the system on purpose? Anytime I see, well, wait a minute. So we filed a report, okay? A report was filed against this mother. there was clearly a clear sign, several signs of clear neglect of a child. Child has special needs. Child has not only a mild intellectual deficit, but is also legally blind. After the report, this child all of a sudden now gets yanked out of school by this foster mom. Not only am I going to get the kid, I'm getting all of them. Because if you do it to this one, imagine what you're doing to the other ones. Imagine what this bitch is doing to the other ones. That's an instant, oh, hell no. She's not trying to get help. She didn't make a mistake as a foster mom. She didn't, oh, I didn't know I was supposed to do that. That's clearly, I'm doing what the fuck I want to do, and anybody got a problem with it, I take my kid. Now you can't say shit. You can't fill out a report if you can't see this motherfucker. That's exactly what she did. And imagine what she did to the kid after all this shit went down. Because she's calling attention to her situation, which could fuck up the money.
Unsubstantiated. Again, on August 25th, 2014, Hobson's foster children were allegedly frequently seen at daycare with parts of their bodies red, chapped, and infected. Once again, DCS.
Hold on, let's back that up. In Michelle's residence, blank and blank, 2 kids have been attending the such and such daycare in Gilbert since July. Okay? That's 1 month. That's 1 month. Y'all hear this, right? In 1 month, they have found this out. These kids been going there for 1 month. This is the official, the officer report for DR, whatever. Kids are frequently brought to daycare unbathed. Kids have smelly odors. So basically they ain't been washed, they ain't been clean, they stink, right? Diapers are often empty. Feces in the creases of their skin. That means they're not even wiping these motherfuckers' asses. They just literally like taking a pamper off, put a pamper on. Fuck all that other shit. Daycare staff often has to give both children baths while they are there. Creases all over such and such body are red, chapped, and in some areas infected. One of blank ears is chapped to the point that it bleeds. Blank is starting to have blisters on his ears and in his private areas. The foster mom has her blank years old. So that means it ain't no 6 or 7, 13, 14 years old. Daughter drop off the children. So she's driving. So she's at least 16. Dropping the children off at daycare. And this is what they found. Let's see what happens.
Infected. Once again, DCS dismissed the claim as unsubstantiated.
Same one, unsubstantiated. Ain't no supervisor, ain't no department manager, ain't no department head, ain't nobody who actually supervises these motherfuckers said a goddamn thing. That's why I say all them motherfuckers should lose their jobs. All of them should. But ain't nobody calling for that shit now, are they?
And in 2017, 2 years before Hobson's arrest, DCS received a
maltreatment. Details, blank as well as foster children, blank reside in the home with Machelle. So I'm probably going to assume that these are the other children, her biological children, and the foster children as well. Logan and Ryan. Blank report was that Machelle locks blank in the closet upstairs in her room. So she locks one of the girls up in her room, in her closet in her room. Not in her room, but in the closet in her room. Mother will keep them in the closet about 90% of the day for getting in trouble for everything. Breathing. Anything, essentially. Breathing. I don't know why. I don't know. Or I say, so here's the reasons why. She said she'll put them in the closet for everything. If they're breathing, I don't know. If they answer that, use that as an answer. Looking at her, if they looking at her motherfucking ass, like, bitch, I'm hungry. Will you please fucking feed me? Oh, I'm gonna put your ass in the closet. There is a reverse lock on the door, so they are unable to get out. Mother does not feed. So now, here's the bitch who's supposed to be going to check on these kids. How do you go and not notice that? Wouldn't that be a thing you would look for? If especially you getting reports of these motherfuckers being locked up, that's some shit you just can't over. You can't go and fix that. You got the motherfucking caseworker coming. Caseworker come and show up, do a pop-up visit. You ain't gonna have, oh, we gotta go and switch all the doorknobs back. That's some shit you should be looking for. If I'm walking through a house and I see that the door locks are on the entry side of the door, on the outer side of the door, not the interior part of the inside part of the door, that's a clear sign that this bitch is motherfucking abusing these kids. Ain't no, oh, we replaced the knob and must have put it on the wrong way. Nah, bitch. You on some fuck shit and you abusing these kids.
Another report of maltreatment, alleging the children were locked in a closet not being fed. DCS said there was no proof. According to the police,
no proof. Unsubstantiated.
fed. DCS.
Mother does not feed the children and maces them when they get in trouble. Mother will feed the children every 2 to 3 days. 2 or 3 days. Water privileges taken away, then they pee themselves. When they pee, that's a typo. Water privileges are taken away when they pee themselves. Mother punishes them by hitting them in the head or squeeze their private. Squeezing their private, their arms, their ears, which is why the kids would have blisters on them. Mother pulled them out of school. Mother is reported to know CPS and will brief the children and tell them she will hurt them if they say anything. Imagine you as a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-year-old kid. You do something wrong, and this fat, disgusting, evil bitch grabs and squeezes your fucking private. Imagine a motherfucker that does something like that. If a motherfucker grazed my nuts, I'm ready to swing on a motherfucker. You got this big bitch squeezing a child's private. And there's a report on this. This ain't no fucking hearsay. Here's my other thing. I get it. Maybe a kid might be manipulative. I understand that kids are manipulative. I understand that 1000%. How motherfucking crafty would a kid have to be to make this shit up? You have adults that are reporting this. How are they going to be this detailed, this specific, and this is all unsubstantiated? You think they're making it up, essentially. That's what unsubstantiated means. There's no substantial evidence of this happening. But you can clearly see these kids, and you see that their ears have blisters on them. You can see that they have red and bruise marks on their ears. One of the kids in the report said that the kid's ear bleeds. So that means that this bitch is squeezing their ear, twisting their ear to the point to where it goes beyond bruise to where the skin breaks and it actually opens up. So that means you're doing it multiple times. See, take your fingers, take these 2 fingers and squeeze your ear, twist your ear. It's just going to hurt. But you have to repeatedly keep doing it for it to bruise. You have to keep doing it even more for it to bruise and then become so tender that the skin begins to break down and it actually opens up to where there's a sore on it now. Now it's actually bleeding. Your ear just don't bleed on GP. This is just cartilage and skin. So you have to actually fuck this up in order for blood to come out of it. There has to be some type of trauma to it for it to actually just bleed.
No proof. According to the police records, a detective also learned that Hobson had 4 additional complaints against her with DCS. A DCS employee telling police complaints filed, quote, typically did not warrant an investigation.
Now, where this motherfucking at with their job? What town is it? This is Maricopa County, Arizona. So you got another bitch who said, oh, telling the police, oh, this doesn't require any type of investigation. So this bitch is straight lying, or this motherfucking dude is straight fucking lying for this bitch. If that ain't a conspiracy, if that ain't collusion, I don't know what the fuck is. These motherfuckers need to be prosecuted. That's my other point with this. Her fucking grown ass sons that were the fucking facilitators. Because here's the thing, with these videos and shit like that they putting on YouTube, there's editing involved. They're involved in doing this. Because you ain't going to have 800,000 subs just doing some shit with a cell phone camera. No, these motherfuckers are actually professionally, or not professionally but per se, but they're actually editing these videos, tagging these videos, putting all of the shit in it that you need to put in it to make sure that these videos are getting views, to make sure that people keep watching it. You add music and all that shit. You're doing cut scenes and you're doing tricks and all that shit. And if you making that kind of money, your shit is of high quality. Best believe that these motherfuckers, this fat bitch don't know computers like that. Where she the mastermind of doing all this shit. She writing the scripts and she motherfucking teaching the lines out and she fucking editing the videos, putting the videos up and uploading the videos, putting all the tags and shit in there. That stupid fat bitch don't know all that shit. All she know how to do is how to fuck a kid up. So the fact that they're not even looking at fucking prosecuting them fucking her older sons, and the fact that they dismissed all the charges against her older sons, and the fact that they're not even looking at prosecuting or even bringing these motherfucking employees up that's getting paid by the fucking taxpayers. Come on, man.
After reviewing Hobson's case, that employee said 1 complaint did warrant an investigation.
Hold up. Hold on, let me go back and make sure I ain't fucking that up. I don't want to fuck that up. Let me go back and make sure. Yeah, okay, cool.
With DCS. A DCS employee telling police complaints filed, quote, typically did not warrant an investigation. After reviewing Hobson's case, that employee said
there was a total of 4 licensed complaints. One of the complaints did warrant an investigation, however, was not investigated. I concluded my contact with
1 complaint did warrant an investigation, however, it, quote, was not investigated. Hobson's health deteriorated
Look
while
at this
in
big
custody,
bitch.
and 8 months after her arrest.
You know good goddamn well, big fat bitch like this, sitting up in a fucking wheelchair, sitting at you kids gotta be bought to her in order for her to fuck them up. And that lets you know that her oldest sons were the fucking wranglers of these motherfucking kids. They're the goddamn wranglers. They're the ones that's fucking these kids up to and bringing them to her for fucking sentencing. They lock her. If one of them kids got to get locked up upstairs in her fucking bedroom closet, you know good and goddamn well this fat bitch ain't taking her up them steps. That bitch probably ain't been upstairs in 20 years. So what is she doing? She got her fucking sons doing that shit. She's probably giving the sentence, and the other ones is carrying the shit out. They're like the fucking bailiffs of fucking hell, sitting there with the fucking devil herself, fucking doing whatever, who knows what to these kids. Well, we all know fucking what because we saw the fucking reports.
Ever going to trial, Hobson died.
Hell yeah.
DCS declining our interview request, sending us a statement saying they investigate every report of abuse they get, but they have to determine.
And what the fuck is wrong with this lady's face? Do y'all see that shit? Do y'all see the color difference between her face and her fucking neck? She doing that bronze and shit that these black women be doing. I'll put a bunch of bronze and copper around here, and then I just pat around my neckline area. She looks like she has on a fucking mask. Now that's more than Botox. Look at her. That bitch look like Pinocchio. I once had strings, but now I'm free. There are no strings on me. She look like her face is made out of wood. Geppetto himself carved this bitch and said, go do this news story. Okay.
If there's enough evidence to support it, you can read
look at that bitch is yellow.
Website 12news.com. Bianca Bono, 12.
Bianca Bono. Looks like she just came from the workshop of Geppetto.
A case of child abuse.
Bianca Bono just left the workshop of Geppetto, and now she's here on the Newso channel. O. Bitch, go ahead on now. Nobody got time for this shit. Now let's look at this last part, because this is the second one, I believe.
Adopted, abused, and abandoned. 7 kids placed in the care of Machelle Hobson, who became known as YouTube Mom after her 2019 arrest. The horrors Hobson was accused of shocking not only our state, but the country. And now ABC 15's Zach Crenshaw has uncovered the state was told repeatedly about the abuse and neglect years before her arrest.
For nearly a decade, at least 7 kids the Arizona Department of Child Safety was charged with protecting said they were starved, beaten, burned, pepper sprayed, and pulled from school. We didn't get a single record from DCS, but we got enough from Maricopa police reports, going over hundreds of pages and photos, as well as hours of body camera footage that reveal.
And here's the other thing, too, that you're going to notice. DCS, they hide behind and they use the whole, this is child information, so it's sensitive, so we can't give you information. They have that shit. They hide behind it. We can't release those records because there's a child involved and these children that are involved in the case. We cannot release those records. Those records are sealed. That's a bunch of bullshit. Redact the fucking names and let that shit go, just like them police reports, just like the court records. I do not think that DCFS, the DCS, Department of Child Services, I do not think that they should get to hold information like that back. I think they should redact the names, redact the faces on the pictures or whatever the fuck the case may be. But that shit should be attainable, because you clearly see that these motherfuckers are going by unchallenged and unfucking checked. And even when shit hits the fan, they still get to hide behind this fucking, we can't release that information because these records are involve a minor and those records are sealed. They get to hide behind that fucking shield. And that's a bunch of bullshit. If you are a fucking ward of the state, you under state care, then motherfucker, that shit should be public record and that shit should be fucking released. Just like I can go and get a police report, I should be able to go and get a child case. You just redact their personal information so that people could see shit like this and see what the fuck is going on. And you could see that this is some unsubstantiated bullshit that's going on. How the fuck does somebody get 13 goddamn complaints and don't nobody do shit? Then the one complaint they get that does warrant a fucking investigation, they still don't do shit. Kids getting beat, burned, drowned, fucking waterboarded, fucking locked up, put on fucking, they locked up 90% of the time. That's fucking solitary confinement. That's 23-1 and 1 lockdown in a jail. You got kids, 7 kids getting 1 hour of wreck in the yard, and that's it, they back in their closets? And the fact that you got fucking people from the Department of Child Services who think that shit is funny, who think that shit is cool and didn't do a goddamn thing, they should be fucking prosecuted and held accountable. And yes, lock their motherfucking ass up. Because I bet you if you put that shit on there and say you not only are you mandated to do this, but if you don't, your punk ass will go to jail and you will have to serve a minimum of this. I don't give a fuck how you didn't know. I don't give a fuck that you never realized. I don't give a fuck that you never would have thought. You fuck around and do this shit, your ass ain't gonna never make it the fuck back out again with your freedom. Talk about never would have made it. Motherfucker never would have made it back out in the freedom. Back out amongst the motherfucking world.
DCS failed to remove the kids, despite nearly a dozen detailed reports. Now we want some answers for you, the public that funds DCS, for the thousands of other kids still in their care, but most of all, for those 7 children who spent years wondering, will help ever come?
Doesn't let us do anything at all. She doesn't even let us go play outside.
But on a rare trip to the dentist to fix rotting teeth, one of Machelle Hobson's adopted kids confided in an older biological daughter about the alleged abuse behind locked doors.
She starved me for 5 days straight. I threw up one day because of it. She didn't care. She still did not feed me.
Now, this is her fucking biological kid actually doing the fucking Department of Children's Services job. She's actually interviewing the kid, letting the kid tell their story as to what's happening to them. Let me tell you something. One of the most important women in my life is my mama. I love my mama to death. I love her to death. My mama was a great mother. She did an amazing job. If my mama did some shit like this, I'd fuck my mama up at least a few good times. She'd at least get a slap and a punch in the fucking gut if she did some shit like this to some kids. My mama, I'd drop a motherfucker in a heartbeat for my mama. Let me hear a motherfucker did some shit to my mama. I'm telling you, can't nobody mistreat my motherfucking mama. You mistreat my mama, I'm gonna be the CEO ass. I'd gut punch my own mama if she did some shit like this. As fucked up as that sound, I'd do it.
7 kids, ranging from 2 years old to 13, told police they were routinely beaten.
She used her phone to pound on my head. His stomach is literally covered in bruises.
Do you not see? This is from the City of Maricopa Police. It's police department. How the fuck did these police officers do this, take these pictures and all this shit, and don't fucking push the envelope? Don't go over there and at least threaten that fat bitch.
She spits in people's faces.
The kids told police Machelle took pleasure in burning them with a lighter, freezing them in ice baths, and even using pepper spray.
She makes us sit with the pepper spray on us for a whole entire day straight. She emptied 2 bottles on me.
Those canisters eventually found in the mess of the home next to diapers.
If we pee ourselves, she doesn't let us have water for at least a whole entire day straight.
This is as bad.
How do you hear that and you not like, what the fuck? How do you hear that and you got a bitch putting down, or some motherfucking ain't shit dude putting some shit down like unsubstantiated?
Out of a case without any fatality, as I can remember ever reviewing.
Pinal County Attorney Kent Folkmer.
I mean, there was violence perpetuated on the genitals of small children. They were locked in a room. They were deprived of food. And it was all done if they didn't perform these little skits and these little videos.
Those little videos were viewed hundreds of millions of times on Michelle's lucrative YouTube channel, Fantastic Adventures.
She was making, I think the last few months, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month.
The videos were filmed and edited by Michelle's older biological son.
And look at these 2 pieces of shit. Look at these 2 pieces of shit. Just look at these 2 grown-ass motherfuckers.
Sons. The family even had a green room for special effects and Hobson's torture.
She makes us sleep in a green closet.
How many other people sleep in there?
3. 3 other kids that sleep only in pull-ups. And she has a lock on it, so we can't get out to...
How do you not look at that door? How do you not see a door that has a deadbolt lock? That's, I mean, not a deadbolt. That's not a deadbolt, but it has a bolt lock with a key bolt lock on that. Well, I think is that a key bolt? Whatever it is, but it's a bolt lock that you actually see on the inside, on the outside of the door. So that means, what the fuck are you locking up on the other side of this motherfucker? And that's not a red flag. That's not an alarm. That's not a, hey, hold on. It's some shit going on. This is some wrong shit going on. We got to get these kids out of here. Nothing. Just, oh, well, it's unsubstantiated. That's all. It's just unsubstantiated. Everything's unsubstantiated. Man, please.
I have to pee. We go to bed, and the next morning, she won't let us out. Like, we asked her, and she says no.
If she was in a bad mood, Machelle would reportedly remove the light bulbs, and the kids, they'd be locked in the dark, starving in dirty diapers for days.
When trauma happens to a child, it's severe and it's long-lasting.
Robert Pastor is a Valley attorney who specializes in abuse.
Because of what I do, some of the cases I've handled, I'm not surprised.
One room in the house was immaculate, likely for filming. The rest, filthy. While YouTube viewers were oblivious to the horrors off camera, Arizona's Department of Child Safety was not.
It was a collective failure of the system.
Wow.
No, it's not a failure of the system. It's just a fact. Straight up, I don't give a fuck. That's what that was. Unfucking believable. And there's no mention of these people being locked up. There's no mention of these people being prosecuted or anything.
Their goal is to protect children. They seem to fail in that effort too frequently.
Yes, Vicky Meeks asked a great question. Is DCS allowed to talk privately with children? Abso-fucking-lutely. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. DCS can go in and actually, if they have evidence of there being some type of abuse, some type of neglect, they can actually go get the police and have your kid taken away. Your biological kid. If this kid is a ward of the state, if this kid is a foster kid in foster care, they have even more control, even more power. It's literally, we can repossess this kid whenever we want. I don't give a fuck if you paying your bill or not. They can repossess a kid anytime they want to. These motherfuckers just ain't shit. Plain and simple. These are the worst of human beings.
Investigation not done yet. When we come back, how DCS failed to save the children, despite being told about the abuse more than 10 times. Plus, why 2 Maricopa police officers were disciplined in connection with all of this.
Check this shit out.
Just moments ago, we told you about the horrors behind closed doors surrounding the so-called YouTube mom.
Here's the thing. Because you're right, Vicky. Here's the thing. When you have a kid that's being abused to that level, offering that kid a sliver of safety, that kid will spill their guts. These people are taught how to interview children. Police officers. There are police officers that are specifically trained to actually talk to children. Shout out to my man Marty Mandel. He's one of the detectives back in Michigan, specifically trained. I mean, talking about great police officers. I mean, just badass police officers. I mean, he was on all fronts, just great police. They are specifically trained to talk to a kid, to get them in that room and to talk to them. Then you actually have specific government-funded entities that do just that. Child services and shit, them the motherfuckers you call. You go into a house as a police officer, you see some kids living in squalor, fucking roaches and shit everywhere. Kid is clear signs of abuse. They got bruises and all that shit. You take that kid out, You arrest the family or the adult, whatever, but you take that kid out and go get interviewed. You have specific caseworkers that are designed that's literally their job. What is your job? What you do? I talk to kids that have been abused. I talk to kids that police officers say have been abused. I talk to kids that have brought any kid that is brought to me. If I see a kid, that means there's some type of abuse or some type of neglect that's went on, and it's my job to interview that child to find out to what extent that has happened. Andre Davis says you don't see too many male CPS workers anymore. Right. It's a bunch of it's a female dominated service area. Absolutely. Position. That department is definitely dominated by female. Caseworkers, 9 times out of 10, women.
Millions of viewers and neighbors had no idea it was happening, but DCS did know. Here's Zach Crenshaw with more of his investigation.
Not only did DCS fail to catch the abuse during their monthly visits when Machelle was...
No. You misspoke, sir. It's not that they failed to catch it. They caught it. They just ignored it intentionally.
Fostering 14 kids over a decade, some until 2019. But the state agency was alerted over and over about visible signs of neglect and abuse.
You hear that? Over 14 kids over a decade. So that means some kids came and gone and left.
In this police investigation, detectives detailed the 11 times between 2011 and 2019 that teachers, siblings, even the kids themselves told DCS they needed help.
Teachers, police officers, and the kids themselves specifically told DCS in Maricopa County, Arizona, that they were being abused. And you telling me none of them believed it? Are you fucking kidding me? None of them? Not one motherfucker would say, hold on now, this is fucking complaint number 10. This is complaint number 8. This is complaint number 7. This is complaint number 12. Not one motherfucker believed them over 10 years. 10 years of this shit went on from fucking police officers, teachers, and the kids themselves. What the fuck more else do you want? A goddamn video? This is bullshit, man.
11 times, the kids were left with Machelle. The first documented April 2011. A babysitter told DCS the kids yell and cry after Machelle will lock them in a bedroom. DCS found the details unsubstantiated. 2 years later,
there you go.
May 2013, one child told her teacher, Machelle makes her stand in the corner when she gets home from school until she has to beg. Finding unsubstantiated. A week later, another report from the school outlining 3 years of general neglect. The adopted daughter with mild intellectual defects told her inquiring teacher Machelle took her toothbrush, which is why there was gunk all over her teeth and gums. The teacher told the agency Machelle was rarely involved, but had a fear of harm and retaliation due to the report. That fear realized 3 days later, when, after a CPS visit to the home, Machelle contacted the school and withdrew the girl. Records reveal Machelle gloated to the teacher, saying, quote, the caseworker laughed at the allegation and did not take it seriously. Findings unsubstantiated.
Do you go to school?
Nope.
Nope.
I'm homeschooled, but I don't even do homework at home or anything.
Back to the DCS reports, and a year later, August 2014, a Gilbert daycare tells DCS Machelle's foster kids are unbathed, covered in feces, and have infected blisters and rashes all over. Despite all the details, the findings, once again, unsubstantiated. 9 months later, April 2015, a foster child says that 2 years ago, Machelle, quote, threw a can of food at her head and it left a scar. Was the scar ever looked at? We don't know, but the findings, you guessed it, unsubstantiated. 3 months later, July 2015, DCS is told that one of Machelle's girls has serious bruising, a horrible rash, and another daughter appears to be starving. Again, nothing was done, unsubstantiated. The most egregious failure, though, happened December 2017. A boy ran from Machelle's Maricopa house naked to avoid another beating. Machelle took a risk and called 911. Officers found the child shivering in a backyard. He begged them not to take him home, saying, "I'm being starved," and pepper sprayed. Officer Michael Takagi documented the kid's disclosures, writing, quote, "She keeps them out of school so officials don't see bruises or hits them in areas that are not visible." Then he called DCS. 6 days later, a DCS worker finally did a welfare check. Reports show she was told ahead of time, quote, "Mother is reported to know CPS and will brief the children and tell them she will hurt them if they say anything." How, after all of those details...
How do you let all that shit go on and you still put this kid with this fucking foster parent? All that shit go down and don't nobody do nothing. Police officers make reports. Kid is begging you not to take him back. And you gave this motherfucker back to the goddamn foster mom? What? That's insane. You know what they should do? I'm gonna tell you here, and here's the thing. What they should do is every case that they had that was unsubstantiated, which was 13, they should fire. These people should lose their job. Every caseworker that was involved, every caseworker that touched that paperwork, whether they looked at it, the caseworkers or the supervisors and the managers of that department, because they're the ones responsible for managing the caseloads, they should all have to do 13 months in jail. They should all, every last one of them, they should all have to do 13 months in jail. I swear on everything. And all be, I ain't gonna say 13 years. I ain't gonna say that. 13 months in jail, every last one of them should have to do it. And because it's over the 1 year, they got to go to prison. I ain't talking about jail. I mean, I'm not 13 months in jail, but they have to do 13 months in prison. See, jail is less than 12 months. 364 days. You do anything over that, your ass got to go to prison. They should put their ass in prison for 13 months. Not always you serve 8 months while we're going over your case, then we'll send you out to jail. No. 13 months in prison. Your days don't count. Don't start. When your ass go and report to turn yourself in to do your time, you better be at the prison. Because whatever time you do in jail past the normal processing days, fuck that. That shit don't count. Every last one of them motherfuckers should have to do 13 months in fucking prison. Where they gotta listen to motherfuckers getting fighting and getting fucked, getting stabbed, shanked, and if it happened to them, so fucking be it.
Machelle managed to keep the kids is a mystery, but her
It's not
older
no fucking
biological
mystery.
daughters told officers this in 2019.
Every time it happens, they give her a heads up. They tell her what's happening because she's a part of the foster care system. They interviewed the kids right in front of her. Yeah. Right in front of my mother.
Which is inappropriate in itself. You know that shit's inappropriate. That's I'm not a motherfucking social worker. I know that's inappropriate. You don't go in conducting an investigation and interview the kid in front of the motherfucker that is potentially the goddamn offender. That's just like you go as shout out to King Jin. That's just like you go as a police officer to go and interview a rape victim in front of the fucking rapist. Yeah, so you're saying that this is the guy that raped you. Can you tell me what happened? Yeah, I see the little marks on your neck and I see the scratches on his face, but are you sure that he raped you? Well, can you describe and give me the details of what happened to you? Did he wear a condom or no? Did he finish? Like, you really gonna sit in there and do that with this motherfucking bitch sitting there.
Yes, yet again found that abuse.
And you know what? And here's the thing, Calvin. I understand why people are saying, there's a few people that said this, the system failed them. The system ain't the problem. It's the workers. This ain't got shit to do with the system. The right people told and the right motherfucking levers get pulled. The system actually fucking worked. The employees would not follow the processes or the procedures. These motherfuckers, the system didn't fail these kids. The goddamn workers did. That's why they should all go to fucking prison. The fact that they totally just said, fuck it. That's why I was giving the example earlier of a doctor who don't operate, a surgeon who don't operate, a mechanic who don't fix cars, a dentist that don't clean teeth. That's why I'm telling you that. Do we have hospitals? Yes. Do we have doctors? Yes. Do we have surgeons? Yes. Do we have surgery rooms? Yes. If I'm a fucking surgeon and you bring a fucking gunshot wound victim into my ER, you wheel them in. Hey, we got a gunshot victim. We got a gunshot wound to a victim chest area or whatever. And I see it and I just sit there and say, wow. Unfortunately, I don't see enough evidence in order for me to take any action. I'm going to find that this diagnosis you're finding saying this gunshot victim is unsubstantiated. I don't see any, I don't see enough, I see the wound, I see the hole, and I see the blood, but the fact that I should operate and remove the bullet, I don't have enough evidence for that. It's unsubstantiated. So that's why I'm not going to operate. That's what these motherfuckers did. So I get the fact that we want to put the system on trial, but this is a people thing. These people refuse to actually do their fucking job that they're sworn to do. They are mandated to do this. The very thing that they did not do, they are mandated by the state to do. And that's why they should go to jail. They should go to prison, I mean. These people said, fuck it. Fuck them kids. We rolling with the fat evil bitch.
And they refuse to give us any records, even after Hobson died due to health issues in late 2019.
They want to keep this information under wraps.
And that's what I was saying earlier. This is bullshit. Shout out to my man, Angry Man. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the support. He a relationship rehabber. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, bro.
In hindsight, there was some mistakes.
Maricopa PD also failed on multiple accounts. Officer Takagi never recategorized the juvenile problem to criminal abuse, so detectives were never flagged to investigate.
Boom. And that's why this motherfucker here should definitely fucking lose his job. He said, fuck it. And y'all know I'm not one for firing police. Train them. When they do something wrong, show them how to do it right, then hold them accountable. No, fuck that. You specifically, intentionally did not file that shit as a criminal fucking issue to where the detectives would have got involved. You said fuck that and left the shit up to DCFS. You a ain't shit motherfucking cop. Terrible police.
His lieutenant, Mary Turner,
shit, I got hit with
also
the
failed
cash
to
app.
review the report and catch his mistake.
Shout out to my
2
man
years
Illa
later,
Dre. Hit your
the
boy with $2.
supervisor would
Appreciate
write,
you, bro.
The children were subject to more abuse because of their failures. In fact,
boom, you see that shit? Hold on, let's go back. Fuck that shit. Put Lieutenant motherfucking Turner whole ass on fucking blast. Make sure I get that shit right. Motherfucker.
the juvenile problem to criminal abuse.
Exactly. So he had the power to take that shit from a juvenile detention situation or juvenile court situation to an actual criminal situation where the detectives get involved and all that good shit.
Detectives were never flagged to investigate. His lieutenant, Mary Turner, also failed to review the report and catch his
And look
mistake.
at this ain't shit bitch
2 years
here.
later-
And look at what they did. The recommended discipline in this matter was a 10-hour suspension without pay. Oh. 10-hour suspension without pay? You can't come to work tomorrow. We're going to suspend you for an entire shift. During the hearing, Lieutenant Turner made the following request: that her suspension be reduced to 5 hours. So this bitch totally didn't do her fucking job being a fucking supervisor. Shout out to my man Calvin Dickinson for the $5 donation. Thank you, bro. Didn't do her job, and then this bitch had the audacity to ask for a suspension reduction to half of a 10-hour suspension. And the following reasons was that she self-reported the incident and should be given credit for that. Bitch, fuck you. I should be given credit for that. Shout out to Covette. She hit your boy up with $15. Thank you. Good show. Thank you so much. And Ashita Cool P hit your boy up with $2. Thank you, man. Family and the baby are doing great, bro. Thanks for asking. Then she says she should also get a reduction for her honesty during the investigation. Bitch, you shouldn't have to be investigated to do your fucking job. Then she says she should also get a reduction because her supervisor should have caught the error of her on her part. Bitch, you a goddamn lieutenant. How much motherfucking supervision do you need as a fucking lieutenant to do your fucking job and report a fucking incident? This is yet another reason why I say fucking female officers, y'all should only be fucking allowed to do motherfucking administrative duties. Don't handle no cases. Don't go on no fucking calls. Push a pen. File some paperwork. I know motherfuckers would be mad and be all... In general, for the whole, upwards of 99% of these women can't do this fucking job. They don't have the fucking balls. They don't have the physical strength. They don't have what it takes to do this shit. Bitch, you are a lieutenant. You're not a fucking officer. You're not a fucking detective. You're not a fucking sergeant. You are a fucking lieutenant. And you talking about your goddamn supervisor should have caught your fucking failure to fucking report? What the fuck else does a lieutenant do? What the fuck else does LT? What you doing? What else is there for you to do, LT? You should be doing just that. Making sure that motherfuckers are doing their reports, making sure that the paperwork is filed properly. You should be doing just that. It's very seldom that you got a fucking LT out in the streets any fucking way. If it is, it's for something major, something important. Usually LT ain't out in the streets. That's what a sergeant do. And a sergeant will talk to LT and be like, hey man, here's what I got going. Here's a problem. This is what the issue is. This is what here's what I'm thinking about doing. What you think we should do? Oh shit, I'm glad you bubbled this up to me because this is really big. Let's go ahead and let's do this and we're going to get the captain involved. You're complaining that you weren't supervising. You're a supervisor. Man, if you don't get the fuck out of my face. On the goddamn internet. Then the bitch says there were no statements from the officers that said they made her aware of the occurring crime. So that means, bitch, you knew, but you saying because there were no reports, there were no statements from the other officers, that also goes to show your lack of fucking leadership. Because you don't even have the fucking wherewithal to make sure that your people are reporting shit to you to make sure that you are aware of everything. Bitch, please. Boom, 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 boom. Bitch, please. Get up on your goddamn knees. You dick tease. During the hearing, Lieutenant Turner was allowed to confer with Lieutenant Marchese off record of the recording. Later during the hearing, she held up a piece of paper between her and Marchese to have a private conversation. At the end of the hearing, she pressed me for a decision because she wanted to be off on 11/27/19. Wow. I guarantee you that's Thanksgiving weekend. I guarantee you I'm about to hit my calendar just to make sure I'm fucking right. 2019, November 27th. Let's see what that is. November 27th. It's the day before Thanksgiving. You ain't shit, bitch. Half-ass, no fucking use of a fucking badge or fucking officer, lieutenant, whole bitch, please. You are fucking worthless. Shout out to my man Chris Sykes hitting your boy with $2. Thank you, bro. She in the fucking hearing, and she's passing a piece of paper back between her and the fucking other lieutenant because she wants to be off the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Fuck these kids. I got fucking sweet potato pies to bake, huh, bitch? Fuck these kids. I gotta cut up all this fucking bread shit for the stuffing. Because you know white motherfuckers, they don't eat dressing, they eat stuffing. I gotta make sure I got enough stovetop for this turkey. Ain't shit, bitch. Based on the information provided for me, I upheld the suspension of 10 hours for the following reasons. Let's see what old lieutenant said, what the other lieutenant said. God damn it, I didn't try to do that.
Juvenile problem to criminal abuse. So detectives were never flagged to
stuffing
investigate.
is gross.
His lieutenant, Mary Turner, also failed to review the report and catch his mistake. 2 years later, a
because for the following reasons,
would write,
because the supervisor of the call is responsible to ensure that all officers properly investigate the incident and document their findings. Thank you. So there is at least some other lieutenant or some other fucking supervisor that understands the fucking job. Thank God. Lieutenant Turner was afforded 3 different opportunities to review the case report and did not. So, bitch, and there even fail safes in place to make sure you do your fucking job. And not 1, not 2, but on 3 of those occasions, bitch, you said fuck it. That's why this bitch should lose her job. The children were subject to more abuse from the suspect because Lieutenant Ain't Shit Turner failed to properly review the incident. You fucking bitch. And finally, Lieutenant Turner provided no mitigating facts. Exactly, bitch. You talking about just how you felt. And you talking about shit that was no fucking evidence that showed that you tried to do your job. You didn't want to do shit. You lazy bitch. Because you too busy trying to be off for the day before Thanksgiving. You like, fuck these kids. And I guess they'll just have to fucking suffer because you don't want to fucking do your job. You got a meal plan. This is exactly why I say what I say about females being the police. That's exactly why. If it's not in a fucking paper pushing fucking situation or some shit where they like driving around brass or some shit like that, don't do it. Because out of all of that shit, she don't even feel bad that these kids suffered because of her failure to do her job. She's more concerned about being off for the day before Thanksgiving than the fact that she's the reason that these kids endured more and more suffering.
the children were subject to more abuse because of their failures. In fact, Machelle retaliated. The kids told detectives in 2019 that after that runaway incident, Mom got mad. She put us in that room for a really long time.
You know why the kids said a really long time? Because when you locked up for so long, especially being a kid, most kids don't have a concept of time. So when you're locked up that long and you don't have no fucking daylight, your light bulb gets taken, you lose any type of concept of time. Maybe the older kids could have had some type of concept of time, but that means they were locked up in a room with no window, so they couldn't see the sun rise and set. that means that they weren't even fed in any type of fucking natural order to where they were getting at least 3 meals a day, so they couldn't even know that a day has passed. See, this the shit that you got to really think about, and you really have to acknowledge to understand what the fuck these kids went through. Imagine being locked the fuck up for so long without any type of routine that you lose all concept of time. Them kids don't know they've been locked up so much and they didn't get to go outside. They wasn't in school. They were locked up so fucking much that they lost the concept of time and days. Do you understand that?
I think it lasted more than a day. So we got scared to tell again, because that was after the cops came once.
The same motherfuckers who talk about back to blue, the same motherfuckers, they got their own goddamn police union, the same motherfuckers who get up and down on TV every day and talk about how ain't nobody standing up for them, ain't nobody taking a stand for police, even motherfuckers like me who try to stand up for the police every goddamn time I possibly can. This is a fucking embarrassment. That lieutenant and that fucking officer are an embarrassment to the badge. They're an embarrassment to the blue. They're an embarrassment to the fucking uniform. There are men out here and women out here that put their fucking lives on the line every day. How dare you piece of shit motherfuckers don't do what the fuck you swore to do. You're a sworn fucking officer. That means something. You're a piece of shit. Because if you can't give your word and actually do what the fuck you swore to do, you are a piece of shit. You're worthless.
For all their mistakes, Lieutenant Turner and Officer...
Both of these motherfuckers need to put their ass under the fucking... They need to go to prison for 13 months on everything I love. I'm telling you. Yes, that's fucking Lieutenant Ain't Shit Turner right there. And I forgot that other stupid motherfucker's name.
Takagi without pay for 10 hours.
10-hour fucking suspension.
Does that seem like appropriate punishment to you, given how many more months the kids suffered?
Unfortunately, when we make mistakes as police, the stakes are high. When we...
Chief Jim Hughes should be fucking reprimanded. How the fuck do you give a 10-hour suspension for 2 fucking officers? One of them being a supervisor who just clearly not made a mistake. They just clearly did not do their job.
We can't make that hurt go away. We have to own that and move on.
They shirk their responsibility.
Now, motherfucker, you don't just move on. You fucking hold them accountable. That's what the fuck you do. Ain't no, oh, we just gotta move on. We just gotta, this is one of those unfortunate things that happen and we just gotta move on. No, motherfucker. It says she was promoted to lieutenant in 2018, and look at what the fuck that bitch did. She wasn't even there a year before she totally fucking got some kids fucked up extra long because she didn't want to do her fucking job.
Sadly, these children had to live in this sort of torturous environment for far too long.
I respect the child, no crime in the house? No.
Look,
it's important to acknowledge.
You hear that bitch? No crime in the house. Huh? No crime in the house. Huh? You lazy bitch. And I don't even want to see what the bitch is making. A lieutenant in Arizona, I don't even want to see what the bitch is making. I honestly don't. Oh, ain't shit, bitch.
The kids told police Hobson was a manipulator.
Ms. Hobson specifically chose children that had significant mental health issues, knowing full well that those with significant mental health issues are going to be less believable.
And that's the thing. You should be even more inclined because these kids they have cognitive issues. You should be even more on the fucking edge. I would be so fucking vigilant because of that.
No, I'm not going to tell you because there's an investigation.
Machelle would show DCS investigators the stocked fridge and packed pantry.
And when I saw this, I said, that's a clear sign. That's a clear sign. You know, well, how's that a clear sign, Brian? Let me tell you how. You got 12 children in that house. 12. How the fuck do you have that much food on the shelves all the time? How the fuck do you have that much food all the time? Well, she might go to the store every day. That's right. You're right. I get it. You know what I'd go check? I'm gonna see if anybody can figure it out. So let's see. Let me see if I got some detectives in here. Let's see if we can get some deductive reasoning going on. So I go into a house to inspect to see if these kids who could potentially be neglected. I'm gonna look at a couple of things. I'm gonna look at the size of the kids. She the only fat bitch in the house, exactly. So I see that the kids aren't fat. Kids ain't chunky by no stretch of the imagination. Not even without doing an inspection of the kids. There we go, Covette. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna look at the fucking trash. Because, bitch, if you got that much food in the house and you got that many kids in the house that's eating, you'd have 3 garbage cans. And they would be consistently damn near full. I'm looking in the garbage. I'm not just looking at the garbage in the house. I'm looking at the garbage cans outside. Which is free to fucking do. Oh, look at all this food in here. Oh my God. How much is your food bill? How much are you spending on food? Oh, I'm spending $400 every week on food. For real? Man, that's amazing. Kids must be, they must be eating everything. They eat up everything. Don't they? Girl, they eating up everything up in here. I go look in that garbage and I take my ass outside, take a little pen or something, my little glove, put my gloves on. I put my gloves on. I'd open up that garbage can and I would look to see if it's 12 kids worth of garbage in the garbage can. Imagine how many frozen pizzas you gotta cook to feed 12 kids. Imagine how many boxes of cereal you go through to feed 12 kids on a weekly basis, a daily basis. You do realize that it would take probably at least 4 boxes of cereal to feed 12 kids. Imagine the amount of milk you would have to use. 12 kids. And you got 2 of them motherfuckers that's grown, look like they grown. Imagine the amount of SpaghettiOs, ravioli. It would be so many cans of food. Can you cook gourmet meals for these kids every day? Okay, I get it, maybe not. But there would be the essentials. Juice, milk, chips, pizza, cereal, noodles, all that shit. You would see such an abundance of not food on the shelves, but you would see it in the trash. They should have literally at least 1 full bag of garbage. Nope. Hell yeah. It should be 1 to 2 bags of garbage coming out of that house every day. Average garbage can. Unless you get like one of them big ass motherfucking yard waste garbage cans. Average garbage can, you should have at least 2 garbage bags of coming out every day. Taking out 1 after lunch. And by the time you get breakfast the next day, you'll be taking out the other. Snacks. Bags of chips. Fruit peelings. Bananas. Yes. And I don't do this. That's not my job. Right? It should be Capri Sun containers every goddamn where. Those little motherfucking chocolate chip muffin little rip packs with the 4 little muffins in there should be everywhere. Everywhere. That should be one of the biggest things in that motherfucker. you would see a fuck ton of paper plates. Because I know motherfuckers ain't washing dishes up in there. You'd see a fuck ton of paper plates. The snacks, the cookies and shit like that, it would be ridiculous. As opposed to just a bunch of fucking stock shelves with no trash. That lets you know this bitch is starving the kid.
But the kids say they were being starved, still fearful to eat.
Look at that cereal. Come on here now. Come on here now. You think with a house of 12 kids in that motherfucker, do you think a bag of chips would last? One fat party-sized bag of chips would probably be gone every day. Just for having chips as a snack. If I got 12 kids and I'm putting a party-sized bag of chips on a napkin or on a paper plate to all them kids, that bag is gone.
Even after officers arrived in 2019.
We're going to protect you. Is there anything in here that you want to eat right now while we're waiting? Seriously, anything. Look, you got some chips. No, she's not. No, she's.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? You hear the kid's voice, the trembling in the kid's voice. She's going to smell my breath and she's going to know that I ate.
She's not. No, she's not. You are not going to talk.
Listen to the kid crying.
The children also shelf.
Is there anything in here that you want to eat right now while we're waiting? Seriously, anything. Look, you got some chips. No, she's not. No, she's. Is there anything in here that you want to eat right now while we're waiting? Seriously, anything. Look, you got some chips. No, she's not. No, she's not. No, she's not. You are not going to talk to mom right now.
The children also said Machelle forced them to lock.
Now let me tell you what I would have did as the police. I'm gonna tell you the type of police that I am. I would have said, you think she would be scared? I'm like, you're that scared? I said, you think she'll smell your breath and she'll get you? I'd have said, come with me, watch me. I said, I'm gonna show you that your stepmama, she can't do shit to me. And I would have went and I would have took some chips and I would have ate them. I'd be like, yeah, bitch, what you gonna do? You can't do nothing to me. I'm taking your chips. Do something. I'm taking your juice. I don't even want it no more. I'm gonna pour this out in the sink. I would have showed that kid my power. She won't do a thing to me. And I'm telling you that you can have it. I'm gonna protect you. That's what I would have done. I would have dared that bitch do something. She can't do nothing. She in a wheelchair. Her sons ain't gonna do shit. Take the cuffs off of them and let them stand there and watch me take this food. She ain't gonna come smell my breath, little one. I would have showed that kid that I ain't gonna let shit happen to her. Or him. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. That's what I would have done. I don't know if I ever told y'all this, but you know what I told my kid? I told my daughter when she was little, when she first started going to school, when she first started going like to daycare and stuff, and she was like, I think she was like 2, 3 years old. But I told her, and this sounds crazy, but I'm gonna show you why I said what I said. I told my kid that I was invincible and that I could not die. And I told her if anybody ever tells her that they would kill me or they would hurt me, I said, they're lying to you and you tell me who it is. That's what I told my kid. I would always tell her that. You know, daddy's invincible, right? Daddy cannot be hurt. Daddy cannot be killed. I would tell her that because I didn't want some piece of shit motherfucker to tell my kid to take advantage of them, that they better let them do it, because if they didn't, they would kill her daddy or her mommy, or they would hurt her mommy or her daddy. And I would tell her that I would always protect you. I said, if anybody ever tells you that they will hurt me, they're lying to you, sweetheart. Nobody can hurt me. Nobody can kill me, and nobody can take you away from me. You tell me if anyone ever tells you that. And she would be like, yes, daddy. Has anybody ever told you that before? No, daddy. What if somebody does tell you that? I'm supposed to tell you exactly Because a motherfucker that would tell my kid that is a motherfucker that would do something to my kid. Or has done something to my kid, or has done something to another kid. That's why I told my kid that. That's the kind of shit that daddies do. You have to tell your kid, you got to train your kid, spend time with your kid, and put shit in your kid so that they will be able to have tools and weapons to cope in this world. Because you never know when an ain't shit person is going to be around your kid in a school or in a daycare. That's the thing. So it's like, you know that they on a bus or anything. A motherfucker could try to get your kid alone or try to get your kid off to the side so when they'll test your kid, I want my kid to say, I'll hurt your dad. My kid tell that motherfucker, my daddy said he can't be hurt. And he told me to tell anytime somebody tells me that. Yeah, motherfucker, run, nigga, run. That's just some old Brian Daddy trick, that daddy tactics there. That's all I'm saying.
Last time CPS and cops came, I wanted to tell them the truth, but they wouldn't let. My mom told me to say all lies, and if I didn't say lies, she threatened me and said she was gonna kill me.
Even with those lies, though, Pastor...
That girl singing like the motherfucking Temptations. How do you see that, hear that, and not feel like, damn, what the fuck were we doing? What the fuck were those people doing at DCS?
Says DCS should have gotten to the truth.
The idea
fat bitch just sitting up in a chair all day.
Lied, and therefore we couldn't have known. Well, that's contrary to everything that they're trained to do, which is to look at the totality of the circumstances, and you begin to put it together and you say, hey, there's something going on here. We need to look more closely.
Exactly. It ain't like this bitch was just taking the wool and pulling over their eyes. Oh yeah, everything looks great here. Yeah, I see that walking down this hallway, all of the doors lock on the outside. Huh, just must be a family thing. These motherfuckers, this is what their job is. This is what their job is. This ain't no shit to where motherfuckers be like, oh, we just didn't know she was just a mastermind and just hiding this stuff. No, this your job. I'm coming here to find something, bitch. That's what I'm here for. Yes, I'm here. My name is Brian Ribbon. I'm here from DCS. I'm here to do a walkthrough. Open the door now, please. Hold on for a second. Bitch wouldn't open the door on time in a timely manner. So I'm definitely going to look for any signs of, and I tell them, don't ever have me come here and this door not open right up. Because I'm going to think you're doing something. And if I think it, I'm going to react to it. And I'm a Yankees kid. That's not true. That's not right. I don't give a, hey man, I don't work for you. I work for these kids. Don't do anything that makes me suspicious. Because if I get suspicious, I'm getting everybody involved. Now, where the fuck is your kitchen? He just came in there, was just so yeah, I'm in there talking cash shit. I don't give a fuck about you motherfuckers. I'm here for these kids.
But a closer look never happened.
As a result, we had a number of young children that suffered potentially irreparable harm.
It's harm.
And you know what, Calvin? That's fucked up, but you're right. Calvin says, Brian, if this was animals, people would be demanding everybody fired and jail time, no questions asked. So we can lock Mike Vick up for dog fighting, but we excuse the charges for the goddamn sons, and we only give a 10-hour suspension to 2 police officers. Okay.
Last a lifetime.
The court said this is a person that you can trust, and they were violated so horribly.
Many I've spoken with say Arizona's Department of Child Safety needs massive changes to better protect kids.
Because there weren't adequate resources, they cut corners or they made judgment calls, and as a result, these children got harmed.
We probably report to DCS, I would say, at least 5 times a day. And then you magnify that across the state.
The Arizona legislature
Oh, so that means y'all know how to do it. Y'all just didn't. Right. Okay. That means y'all know how to do it. Y'all just didn't. Y'all just said, fuck it. And you give a 10-hour suspension for somebody saying, oh, fuck it. Yeah, I just didn't. Fuck that shit. Yep. I just didn't do it. Yeah. Unsubstantiated. Really? That's what it is.
Year in and year out has not given these caseworkers the resources, the training, the payment and salary they need to make sure children are safe.
DCS denied all of my records requests, citing confidentiality, even though Hobson is dead and the children are anonymous.
We deserve to know.
Bullshit.
Why are so many children in the DCS?
And that's the problem with this shit. And that lets you clearly know that there are so many children right now as we speak that are being abused, manipulated, taken advantage of by these fucking foster parents and these motherfuckers that they may be even fucking renting their kids out to, because they won't allow the public, they won't allow investigators to have access to, journalistic investigators to have access to this type of documentation. Why? Why not? Why not? Kids' name and information is redacted. Why wouldn't they? Because they don't want us to see how deep the rabbit hole goes. And that's fucking sad. They don't want us to be able to find out how much these motherfuckers are just sitting back and getting paid and are not doing their job.
Being heard.
DCS Director Mike Faust also declined our multiple requests for an interview.
You can't have accountability unless you have transparency.
Exactly.
And DCS is an organization.
Now here's my thing. People will see this shit. People will hear this shit and they'll just gloss over that. But we are more concerned about Donald Trump's tax returns than we are about being able to see this information that literally could show a kid being in a safe environment or not. Yep. We are more concerned about Donald Trump's fucking tax returns than we are about being able to see what's going on with our children in America. We are more concerned about the children that are on the border than we are about our own children here, legally, natural born citizens that could very well be getting abused and we don't know anything about it. I know I'm an asshole. I know I'm the bad guy. I know whatever the fuck else you want to call me, but you can't call me a fucking liar. I tell you that.
One thing, they do not like this type of information finding its way into the public domain.
Do you think any of the kids should live there?
No, I think they're not safe there.
The older sister called this cell phone video a, quote, last-ditch effort to save her siblings.
And let me give a shout out to the biological daughters here. They actually gave a shit. They actually had a conscience. I don't know. They could have been mad that mama wasn't breaking off none of them hundreds of thousands of dollars she was getting, and that's why they told. But the fact that they told, I got to give them some kind of credit for that shit, as opposed to a 10-hour suspension, motherfuckers.
Get them out of there. And I don't want CBS to play their games.
I want all my other sisters and brothers to be in a safe home.
I love you, and I don't even know you.
I love you too, because you're saving me from this house.
I know, baby.
But
what? Man, let me tell you something. This is why I don't do this. This is why I can't do what DJ and Tommy do on a consistent basis. Hearing that, oh, that bitch would have went to jail the hard way. Yes. cuffs on too tight, I would have shoved that bitch in that car so fucking hard. That bitch right there, she would have filed a complaint against me. You hear this kid? Do you hear what this kid just said? And the fact that that kid said it because this motherfucker took the time to just get him out of that situation or her out of that situation, and he gave her some fucking food, some chips.
The larger question remains, will we ever, a quote, last-ditch effort to save her siblings.
I don't want to hear it again, but you got to. You need to.
I want all my other sisters and brothers.
Listen to the kid's voice.
I love you, and I don't even know you.
I love you too, because you're saving me from this house.
I know, baby.
But the larger question remains,
Boy, please, shit, boy. I
hope so.
Shit, man. Let me tell you.
It's all the other kids who are still
Could not.
It's been 2 years.
Could not have been me. No way.
DCS to reflect on all of those.
No way. I ain't got my Clay Davis no more because of my damn hard drive. I got to put my Clay Davis on here.
Not only did the agency deny all of our interview and public records requests,
man.
Changes have been made.
I'm telling you.
Employees held accountable.
There is no way.
As well as more exclusive
no way.
On our website.
There is no way that bitch would have arrived unfucking harmed. That bitch would have had a bruised wrist. That bitch would have had a bump on the foot. She would have accidentally failed some kind of, I don't give a fuck. You do that to a kid, I don't give no fucks. I would have walked that bitch out in cuffs and I would have tripped that bitch and said, oh, you failed. I'm sorry. Oh, I scraped my face. Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am. It happens. Right, what's up? What time? You going to jail now? That shit, man. There's no way that I could have just been. There's no way I could not have gotten personal, and that I could not have gotten emotional in that moment. There's no way. That little kid said, "And I love you too, because you're saving me from this house." Imagine the amount of hell that kid suffered, and I would have cussed out that fucking lieutenant. I would have went and found that lieutenant and cussed that bitch out. And that other officer. Whatever the fuck his name was, Conchi or some shit like that. Or no, it wasn't Conchi. That's the officer that got killed. Whatever the fuck that other officer, piece of shit officer name was. I definitely would have fucking cussed them out. You ain't shit cop. I fucking hate you. I'm embarrassed that you wear the same uniform that I do. If you ever in fucking trouble, I'm not coming. And if anybody ever fucking does anything to you and whooping your ass, I'm not helping. That's what I would have said to both of them police officers. Well, I'm going to write you up. We're going to reprimand. I'll take a 10-hour suspension, bitch. I'll go work at a goddamn shopping mall for 10 hours as security and make that money right back up. Ho. Nah. How about that?
Just
That's
moments
exactly
ago,
what I
we
would
told you
say.
about the horrors behind closed doors surrounding the so-called YouTube mom. Millions of viewers and neighbors had no idea it was happening, but DCS did know. Here's Zach Crenshaw with more of his investigation.
Not only did DCS fail to catch the abuse during their monthly visits when Machelle was fostering 14 kids over a decade, some until 2019.
Wow, I didn't see this. I didn't watch this part yet. So these motherfuckers from these caseworkers are going there every month after month, and they're just letting this shit go.
But the state agency was alerted over and over about visible signs of neglect and abuse. In this police investigation, detectives detailed the 11 times between 2011 and 2019 that teachers, siblings, even the kids themselves told DCS they needed help. 11 times, the kids were left with Machelle. The first documented April 2011. A babysitter told DCS the kids yell and cry after Machelle will lock them in a bedroom. DCS found the details unsubstantiated. 2 years later, May 23rd, out of fear of harm and retaliation, Michelle, quote, threw a can of food at her head.
Oh yeah, we
briefed the
saw this already.
children,
It's the same thing.
Tell them she will hurt
It
them if
said
they say
part
anything.
2.
How, after all of those details, Michelle managed to keep the kids.
Punishment to you, given how many more months the kids suffered.
Unfortunately, when
Court said,
Oh
this
yeah,
is
it's
a
the
person
same
that you
damn
can
thing.
trust.
Cool. Good shit. But in wrapping this up, my thing is this. I can talk about me personally and the emotional aspects and all of this as kids, but that the kids suffered because of this. And my thing would just be this. As far as the accountability and responsibility of the government officials involved, the accountability and the responsibility of the law enforcement officers that are involved. This is definitely one of those times where a suspension, adequate training are not even close to being appropriate for a reprimand or discipline. There needs to be a certain thing, especially for officers of the court, especially for government officials that work in situations or work in departments that are centered around the welfare and the safety of children. I get the fact that, hey, you may have a lot on your plate, you may have extra cases, and I understand that. But there should not only just be the mandate that you have to do these particular case filings and you have to do all of these protocols, but failure to do so should result in termination and up to and including prison time. And I think that if that's something, when you become a caseworker for your county or your state official, your government, your local government, once you become a caseworker and an advocate for children, once you become that and it's legal, yes, you should have all of the protection under the law. If somebody fuck with you as an advocate for a child, they should throw the book at them motherfuckers. I get that 100%. I'll go into a house to take some kids out and a motherfucker punch me, kick me, choke me, stab me, bite me, hate me, even try to rape me. All I want to say is that we shouldn't give a fuck about them and we should throw their ass under the jail. Minimum 5 years, motherfucker. If the police there to take the kids and you slap me or some shit, police see it, we got evidence, 5 years, nigga, sit down. But on the other side of that, if I fail to do my job and follow the process, the proper filings, if I unsubstantiate 4 cases, 5 cases, 10 cases, 13 cases, whatever the case may be, and I'm doing monthly visits, and I don't find that fucking shit that's going on, and it comes out that there is abuse and it has been going on and all that shit, I should go to jail. I'm just saying. That's just what it is. I get the fact, and I understand that obviously the Dev's death insurance says obviously the vetting process is fucked, especially on the positions of trust, background check. Salvation Army is stricter on who they hire. Here's my thing. Even if the vetting sucks, if the vetting is fucked up, if I pass a background check and I get this job, I need to sign saying that, yes, by me becoming an advocate for children, I do understand that failure to follow the children advocates hand guide of reporting and dispatching supervisors and police and law enforcement in a case of neglect or abuse or something like that, that I will go to jail. I can be sentenced to prison. That's exactly what, if a child dies because of my lack of following the process, because I get it, you can't figure it out for everybody, but there were clear signs and indications that came up that showed you what you're supposed to do. And if I don't follow that, I go to jail. I go to prison. I fail to fucking file a report as a police officer, I lose my job. Because a child suffered because a motherfucker didn't do their job. Not that they didn't know how to do their job. They intentionally, repeatedly did not do their job on purpose. That's exactly what should happen. So I want to say thank you to everybody that joined the show tonight. This is one of those shows, like I said, that I'm so, you won't hear me say this too often, but I'm going to say it again. I'm so glad this fat bitch is dead, and I wish that her sons would have been fucking prosecuted. It's a goddamn shame, and it's a sad and a bad look for fucking Maricopa County to not charge those fucking grown-ass men that played a hand in that. It's a sad and fucking bad look for Maricopa County sheriffs to have not further or gave harsher discipline to those two fucking officers that did not do their job on purpose. That is, Sean Osby says, Brian, that is already the law, but it is not consistently enforced. Then that's what I'm saying. It needs to be strictly enforced, and put that shit in the writing. Then, when you sign that contract saying, when you sign that oath saying that you're gonna be a part of this shit, and now you official, it will strictly be enforced. So you ain't got no doubt. It said it would go. I could go to jail, but I didn't think they would. Strictly enforced, ma'am. If we can put strictly enforced up on a goddamn speed limit sign, we should damn sure be able to do it for these kids. Thank you, Vicky Mix. I appreciate it. That's all I'm saying. We have got to get to the point to where we say and we show that we give a fuck about kids, because we will hold motherfuckers that are responsible for the safety and welfare of kids responsible to the full extent of the law, accountable by all means necessary. Thank you for the donation too. I appreciate it, Vicky. That's where we need to be. That's where I hope that this video makes people want to get to. People should be calling Maricopa County, talking to all of the county officials. Why the fuck aren't y'all holding these people accountable at DCS? Why the fuck are these people still working at DCS? Why the fuck can't we see the records of these children with just the children's information and their faces of their photos redacted? Why can't we see that? We have got to start doing a better job at fighting for ourselves as citizens and what's right. There's no reason why we should not, as Americans, be able to hold our government officials accountable. If we can hold our fucking celebrities accountable for shit, if we can cancel motherfuckers, we should damn sure be able to hold a fucking sworn fucking advocate for children accountable when they don't do their job intentionally. This ain't no unfortunate situation where some kids just slip through the cracks. No, this is a motherfucker who was going on visits every month and refused to fucking hold this person, this foster mom, accountable. It's amazing that none of these kids died. I hope that this video helped somebody become a better version of themselves. I hope that somebody will watch this video and will actually begin to make and to actually become an agent of change. I hope that anybody that's watching this video on replay, please give me your comments. Please feel free to donate. Please feel free to hit the like button. I thank everybody that actually tuned in tonight. It was a great time, great show, and I hope that this got through and this actually helped somebody. Thank you guys so much, and I want to give a shout out and a special salute to my man Tommy Sotomayor, who do shows like this and talk about these kids, and also to my boy DJ Just J, who does this day in and day out, always advocating for children. Please check out his podcast at the AFC, and also you can check out my man Tommy Sotomayor. Thank you guys for what y'all do, because I know I can't do it. This shit here is few and far and in between. You might get 2 or 3 of these out of me for a year. Thank you, baby. I appreciate it. Maybe in a year, unless it's just way the fuck off base. I think the last show I did like this, talking about kids, was the little girl and her father. They was in the garage and the stepmama, and they was fucking tackling the girl and talking shit to her and shit like that. I think that was the last one I did like this, because I'm telling you, I just don't have it in me to do it. This shit is draining because I get so frustrated because I literally want to do something to these people. Super Koku Jen says, my father worked for child services. He would even go across state lines with police escorts to get kids someday. He actually gave a damn. Exactly. And for those, if you ain't got that in you, if you ain't that type of person, that ain't the job for you, and you gonna fail. And when you do, we got these cups for you and a nice cell. That's what needs to be on the line. I'm just saying, I'm telling you, that shit needs to be on the line. When a motherfucker know that they will go to jail by not doing their job, they may approach it way differently. They're way more vigilant. I'd rather a motherfucking caseworker be a pest than to fucking not do their job and have a child suffer or even have a child get killed. There are plenty of shows that DJ have done and Tommy have done where kids have died because children's services didn't do their fucking job. They thought it was a joke. I'm sorry, let me use their word. The evidence, the investigation was unsubstantiated. That's bullshit. So thank you guys so much. 2003 says, now we have the 4-year-old abducted and killed in Dallas, Texas recently. Just like that kid Amari. I knew that motherfucking daddy did that shit as soon as they showed that interview. I said, oh, his ass did it. I'd have asked him, where the fuck is the kid, man? You ain't got no car and you an ain't shit dude. I can hear by the way you talk. You and that bitch. And they need to lock that bitch up. Because that bitch knew what the fuck that dude was. She knew that that dude was fucking that kid up. Because the fact that he fucked that kid up the way he did, that means he's done it and probably done worse to him in front of her. And that bitch left that kid with him. She put that kid in a dangerous situation. She may as well taken that kid to the zoo and put him in the fucking lion's den at feeding time. She knew what that fucking ain't shit dude would do to that kid if he did one thing he didn't like. And yet still she left to go help her mom. You should have took your kid with you, bitch, instead of leaving him with that fucking piece of shit ass dude. They should absolutely lock her motherfucking ass up. And I was glad to see people on her ass talking about her ass and telling her she needs to go to jail. She needs to be locked up. I was so glad to have seen that shit. They need to keep doing it. Goddamn prosecuting attorneys, these motherfucking weak ass fucking prosecuting attorneys. Or y'all will throw a book at a fucking man if he do anything sideways. But these women, first thing y'all want to do is make a fucking excuse for them. They was abused when they was 2. They was abused 2 weeks ago. They was abused when they was a kid. They got raped when they was 7. So anything that they did after that, we understand it. Shit is fucking terrible, man. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate everybody that checked out the show. Please give me your comments and your thoughts on the show, what you think. If you got any questions or anything, hit me up. I am Brian Redman. This is the Relationship Rehab. And until next time, peace. And I'm out. Yeah, boy. Y'all have a good night, man. Peace.
What's going on, everybody out there in the internet world? It's me, Brian Redman, also known as the Relationship Rehab. And I need you to do 2 things. What are those 2 things? Subscribing to both my channels. I need Relationship Rehab, subscribe to that channel, and then I need you to go to United Guns of America and go to that channel. Now you may be asking, why would I do that, Brian? Because it's 2 of the hottest channels on the internet. Come over there, give me your thoughts, give me your opinions, have conversations, because that's what it's all about. We talk about some of everything: politics, relationships, guns, law enforcement, community stuff. Anything that's happening, I'm willing to have a conversation about it. So come on over. You don't got nothing else to lose, and you ain't got nothing else to do. So come to my channel, subscribe ASAP, and join in on the fun. Twice the entertainment, 2 channels, twice the fun. Come on and have a funky good time with your boy. Peace, and I'm out.